Hi, I'm Shimelle and welcome to this very special video where today I am going to share my plan for how I'm going to work with the pages in my album for 2021. So I've done a couple pages already and I have a little plan for how at the end of a month, or not really at the end of a month, when a month has finished, that I'm going to review my photos and figure out what pages I want to make in full size, what other little stories I want to include, and how they might fit in the album. So I love 12 by 12 scrapbooking, so I'm starting with 12 by 12 album. This is just one that I've had on my shelf for a long time. I bought a whole bunch in this design because I really like it. So it's an older fabric covered album from American Crafts in a Dear Lizzie design, and it has a temporary, not so lovely label on it to tell me that it's 2021's album, and then it lives up on the top of my cupboards while I'm working on this one, and when it's filled it'll go down on the bookshelves downstairs. Now let's have a look at what is in here already. So I have made 1, 2, 3 12 by 12 pages that cover stories from January 2021. And I've now gone through my photos for January, and I don't have anything else that I'm planning to make a big 12 by 12 page. That's okay, because some months I take loads of photos and I have a lot of 12 by 12s. And then some months I don't. So it all works out in the end. So I'm not worried that I've only got 3 from January. 3 is plenty. But then I went ahead and just looked at my photos just in my photo library. And here are all the other pictures that I took in January 2021 that I want in my album in some way, but they don't need to be a huge page all by themselves. So I have 2 3x4s of us in silly matching t-shirts. I have 2 3x4s here. One of my desk all ready for filming, because I have a new desk. If you haven't heard, the desk is new. It's very exciting. And also, I'm not even sure if you can see this, but it makes me laugh a lot. This is the door pull for one of my cupboard doors, and before I had put my stash away, a small person got inside, and I snapped a picture of him peeking out through the door pull. One of a trip to the playground, and I'm knitting while I'm watching him. One of a dance class we did together at home. That was another playground trip photo. This was building that studio and the desk, so that's kind of an in progress. These are not in any particular order. This is just how they printed. Unpacking stuff to put it from the cardboard boxes into my studio. A little box of cute things that I got in the post. A return to school that was not a return to school because we didn't know if schools would open in January. They did not. So this was then what school looked like at home. And this is also what school looked like at home because he would sit at my desk sometimes or at his own next to mine. Some special treats. Also another treat, a chocolate bar that a friend sent to me. And then a picture of where they had to block off a particular viewpoint in our local park because it was getting too crowded with people. And that was just kind of jarring to see that sign up. So I took a photo of it. Okay, so what do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I have 16 photos. Now I have put these all on 4x6 prints, and I've done them 2 up. And they have a white border. So that probably means that when I say they're 3x4, they're ever so slightly smaller. So I'm just having a look, and yes. So instead of being 3 across the top, they are 2 3/4 inches. Yeah. And I like that because then I can add borders. Add borders to my photos. Now, I also have some supplies that I'm going to use throughout this whole year, and I put them in the February kit list. So if you follow along with Best of Both Worlds, you may have already seen these. You may have picked them up. You may have decided you want to use something else that you've already got in your stash. All of those things, welcome. So this is the Hello Today collection from Simple Stories. And what I picked up were these pages where you get a cut apart for each month of the year. The B-sides are also really nice and usable too. So anything that I'm not going to use the A-side on, I think I will end up using the B-sides because I like most of the B-sides. But here's just a quick little look at what's in here. Now, this is not enough for me to use just on its own. So I will be adding some stuff to this each month. But I like the idea of having something to start with that would all match. Now, could you use these in like a week by week or month by month documenting in more of a kind of early traditional project life type setup? I think you could, because you'd have a whole set. You could do a double page or a single page. Well, no, you'd have more than a single page because you have a whole single page of paper. So yeah, you'd have plenty to make a double page for every month, and you could probably stretch it over a weekly scenario if you had lots of photos. But I don't want to do something quite that regimented where you have like a double page every week or a double page every month of pockets. I did the week by week year-long project once, and I just found it was not what brought me joy. So, but I like these products. I still like the Project Life products. I like these kinds of products from a different company. So I'm just going to make them work in the style that works for me. And I really encourage you to do that too. Now, I only picked up so far one other piece from that collection, and it's this sticker book because I like stickers a lot. So yeah, this is what I've picked up. Now there's lots of other cuteness. Am I tempted to go back and get more? Maybe, but I'm going to see how the first 2 months go. And if I feel like I'm going to need more than this, then I will pick up a couple more bits before it all disappears, because this probably won't still be in the shop 12 months from now. So I need to kind of decide by April or May if I want any extras, if I want to keep it consistent throughout the whole year. Okay, so that's what I've picked up. And then anything else that I add to it is just going to come from existing stash. I'm not going to go out especially buying stuff for this, okay? Now, the other thing I did, talk about existing stash. I had a look at what oddball page protectors I had. What did I already have on my shelf that I was not using? And I found some interesting things. I found this, which I clearly got at Tuesday morning for $1.99, bargain. But I have never opened it. So these are squares, and it's 9 by 12. But the holes are in the same place. So I can still put a 9 by 12 page in a 12 by 12 album. You just make it smaller between the sizes. So that's no problem. So we're going to put those in the mix. I've also got this set, which is a Project Life product, and the pages inside are all different formats with a mix of 4 by 6 and 3 by 4. But they also include these transparencies with them to go like all extra special and golden. So I can have some of that throughout the year. I think that will be pretty cool. But here's the annoying bit. That one there are 12 of. This one has 10. And the other thing that I've already popped into my album are some 6 by 12 page protectors. Some that are like this, where they're divided with 3 4 by 6s. And some that are just a plain whole 6 by 12. And those were both from American Crafts, old ones that I've had in my stash. And let's see what the labels say. So the ones that are a full sheet say 10 6 by 12 page protectors, 10 6 by 12 photo protectors for the divided ones. So those both come in 10s. There are 12 months in the year. This could be annoying. And so what I decided was that it means that I shouldn't lock myself into one set format that I'm going to repeat every month, because if I do, come November, I will be in tears because I will run out of some of these things and not be able to get any more because I'm using old stuff that I've had in my cupboard or in a box. So instead, I had a light bulb moment, and instead of trying to lock myself into a format that I would use every single month without fail, the thing that I'm going to do every single month is that reviewing of the pictures. What photos did I take this month? Which ones did I already scrap at a 12 by 12 page size? What other photos do I want to scrap on a 12 by 12 page? And then what other photos do I want to include but don't really want to give a whole 12 by 12 to? So those are my categories. And that's the part I'm going to do every month. And then whatever photos I have in that last category, the ones that I want to include, but I don't want to dedicate a whole 12 by 12 to, I'm going to let them dictate which page protectors I use. I hope that's going to make sense. I hope it's going to work with my album. But it means that some months I might have more of these smaller pages or divided pages, and then other months I might have fewer and more 12 by 12s. And I'm okay with that. All right, so let's have a look at what I'm going to do. So there's one 12 by 12 I need to add because I don't have a title page to start the year. This is an empty back of that page. So here we go. I've gone all fancy and I've cut out a 2021. 2021. So that's going to go on the title page. And here's what I'm thinking is that if I make a 12 by 12 and I put the 2021 over here toward the right-hand side, but then I also use this 6 by 12 to start the month, which is going to have this January card right at the top. So we're going to go ahead and start that so that you can get a visual for how this is looking. I obviously need a 12 by 12 page here for the background because I'm just using these as cut aparts. But look, there's wood grain accents in here. So I wanted to put a wood grain background here. And I at first thought I could use this red and wood grain stripe because there's also red in that January color scheme. But then I found this one. And I like it even more. So this is from Maggie Holmes' Willow Lane collection. And this is going to be my background here with wood grain and a super cute scallop. B-side has those stars. This one, in case you're looking for it, it's an older paper. What collection? What year is that? 2018. But it's called Darling. So let's get the album out of the way. Let's do this page first. And then sort out all these 3x4s. So I've cut this out from white cardstock and I'm going to back it with 4 different colors that will coordinate, not that one, 4 different colors, 4 different patterns that will coordinate with what I've got, but none of them are actually from that same collection. So I picked things that would match here. So I've got that pink here, this kind of aqua turquoise. Those tones are happening and the cloud is a similar color. And then this black and white spot, I could have just had 2 pages of the same paper, but I don't. And I had this in my stash already. Okay, so I'm going to use these if you're wondering what they are. So this is from my first collection. That's Baxter. Same, this is Granville. So those are both from my first collection back with American Crafts in 2014. This is a crepe paper from Maggie's Gather collection. And this one is Doodlebug Love Notes. Right, so how I back cut files is to turn them over and trace with pencil. And then cut out with scissors. So that is all ready to go. And now I can pop it onto my background. And this will be my title page for 2021. Now, I quite often end up with 2 volumes, sometimes even 3 volumes per year. But I try not to worry about that too much. So I just start working with where I am, telling the stories I want to tell. If I have to work on how they fit into books later, then I can make adjustments if needed. All right, so that's going to sit there. And then that 6 by 12 page, let's take that out so that I can have a look at how it's going to overlap. Here's the 12 by 12. And then that's going to sit alongside like that. Yes. Okay, happy with this so far. Want to get a little bit more color in there. And I like that this is kind of a whole year idea, 365 days. So that one is going to go in this first section. And the question is, on the front or on the back? So I'm thinking along here and then having something else in that section there. Oh, or do I want to go ahead and introduce? That's cute. Let's try it. Introduce that polka dot and the wood grain mix. And it all feels like it just goes together. Okay. In my sticker book, I have these script months of the year. So this can go onto that label. Carefully. Yeah. Okay. So then why don't I repeat one of these? And I haven't had pink on here. So let's make a 4x6 of this pink. Take these out of the way here. I'll have a pink pocket there. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. Oh, cut it even a little bit more than I wanted. So I'm going to maybe put that on the side. See, this is why I use my scissors so much. I can control where things go a little better than I can with a trimmer. Okay. But I do kind of like this over here. Maybe I just add a border strip there. That makes sense. Do I have borders in my sticker book? I think I do. Yes. Okay, so you bring that rainbow in. Yep. I'm sitting here thinking I haven't inked anything yet, and this card is just yelling at me that I should ink it in brown. So, brown distress ink. I think I will just be happier with that look of the layers. Right. Yes, I am. This over here, keeping a nice, even pink border now that I've trimmed it down smaller. And this rainbow stripe border. In fact, to get the most out of this, I'm going to pick it up like that. And I'm going to line it up right inside the sticker book. All right. Then I can just cut this bit, and I haven't got half a border sticker that ends up unstuck and goes to waste. There we go. All right. So if you're following along with this design, you could put a photo here. Be a great shot for a great spot to put a selfie or a family photo of your house. photo of the view out your window when, you know, in January, if you've got one, if you took a New Year's Day photo, could go there. But strangely, I don't think I have any photo like that is going to go there. It's not. Okay, so I'm not going to use a photo there, but you totally could. Yeah, all right. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit because even with my master plan there of keeping it straight, I went a little bit wonky. It wouldn't be me if I didn't go a little bit wonky. That's better. So instead, let's have a look at stickers. If you don't have a photo, replace with stickers. It'll work. It'll work. All right. So I have that one of motifs and this one with circles. Oh, let's do like 3 circles here. Okay. So I will have something wintry. I'm reading one of these in total sarcasm, and I'm not sure if I want to use it in sarcasm or... So one says, my exciting routine. And you know, January here, lockdown. Totally an exciting routine. Oh, I'm going to want brown edges on these. Pick it up. Okay. Put it back down. Okay. Then this hello in the middle. Yeah. So a larger circle in the middle. So if you're not using these stickers, you could do this with just circle punches or nested circle dies and use the papers that you've used other places. You could punch a circle of those and do. You could do buttons if you like a little bit more dimension. Okay, and the last one, let's have this bit of red. Okay, I'm really happy with that combination because it means I've got all those colors set for the month so that it has like a color scheme. Things like that make me very happy. Okay, I'm going to have to move the middle sticker because I did not space it particularly patiently. Could also put this one on a pop-top, but as they're quite thin stickers, I'm going to go ahead and keep it flat. All right. This is going to have ink all the way around the edge. And then it's going to go in the pocket. I think I do need to add ink to the other card edges as well, but I can handle that. Now, neither this, nor this, nor this is done. But I think this is the right point, now that I've got a feel for how this is all going to fit together, to go through my photos and make a plan of what's going to happen where in this album. So I've got my pictures and I've got a bit of paper where I can take some notes. Let's have a pen for notes too. Okay, so I definitely have these 2 that I want to go together. And so I have matchy t-shirts, and that's ×2. So those can stay together on that one. Now, these 2 went together, but they are not on the same bit, so let me make them their own little stack. So that's playground ×2. Okay, what else have I got that has things that go together? Well, I have, where's that building photo? Oh, this is the building photo right here. And I think this, because him being in the door was as we were building. So I have building ×2. Now I don't need to put them in pairs, but they just seem to be pairing up so far. Okay, so I've got 3 sets there. then I have photos that are school. So that's 2 there plus 1 here. Those are school themed. Okay, so those are all my January stories. Now I've got 6 by 12 pages, plain and divided. I've got, let's just do it with the album. Okay. Right. So I have 3 spots that are going to be here. And they need things on them. They can't just be blank. I don't want this whole thing to be photo free and the title page to have no photos. So let's start by figuring out what could go there straight away. Kind of like that idea. I don't think these need to be in chronological order. Oh, but I like the idea of doing those on a 6 by 12 together. Okay, I'm going to put the park straight in there because that was kind of a shock to the system at the beginning of the year. So let's have that. And then, what else has a 1? Okay, well, let's definitely put that in here. Oh, whoops. Let's see how we go. Right. That could go there. I'm showing you this in honesty. I am this clumsy at figuring out where things should go. But this is what works. Okay, so if I make a 6 by 12 with that, that would be fat. But then I need a 6 by 12 on the background here too. Maybe the playground? That would make a good 6 by 12. Where did those go? Here. I knew I shouldn't have stacked them back up. Okay, playground on the back here. Then this has 4 by 6. 4 3 by 4. And obviously it has both sides. So what about the things that have 3? So let's do school here. And the other thing that had 3 was treats. Good post in January. Right. Let's do that on the back here. Turn those into that. Now, maybe I want to cover 2 topics on here. So I could have, I think I could make this one fit in with the school stuff. Do like 2 pockets down here. So these 2/3 of the page could be school memories, and this bottom section down here could go with this story. That goes together. That makes sense. And that's going to fall out in a minute, but it's just temporary so that I can see what will go where. And then if I do, I could even do, you know, one story across here, one story across here, one story across here. So that could be 3 stories all covered on there. So I think all of that can go in this page. Okay. Now, because things like that will fall out, then I write down in my notes so that I don't lose track. Because it's not often that you get to do that much scrapbooking all in one go. And even if I do get the chance to do all that scrapbooking in one go, I'll probably forget what I was working on. So let's write it down, and then hopefully I will remember. So my notes look like that, which is messy, but it all makes sense, and I've got a place I can come back to if I get interrupted and I need to work on these in little pieces. Okay? Right, so now I can go back to the beginning and start figuring out where the supplies will go. I've spread the photos out like this in their themes, thinking that actually might be a little easier for you to visualize. And then I have my remaining 3 by 4 cards cut down so that I can go through and see if there are any that are particularly relevant to each group of photos, and then kind of have a little plan and know what supplies can kind of start something up. So, for example, this Rise and Shine to me should go with the school stuff because you got to get up and go to school even if it's 5 feet from your bedroom. And the goals card needs to go with getting the studio built because that was a big job and getting it done was a big goal. All right. What else goes where? Well, not every single thing needs to have one of these cards. So if I want to leave one out, I certainly can. I definitely need, I probably need journaling space everywhere because that's what I like. But I kind of want to put this sign because this looks like a little sign on the wall with the sign from the park. So that's going to go there. Let's have a fresh start at the playground. And then these can kind of go anywhere. This is a nice color match to this. So why don't I put that one with what we're wearing there. And then these two I can just fit in wherever there's a gap and I don't need to align them to a set of photos. That makes me pretty happy actually. Okay, so then I'm just going to move these stacks further up my desk and work with them that way. But if I need to pack them away, I can always pop them into their corresponding page protectors to keep it all organized. Let's bring the stash over here and put the photos up there. That's it. And then I can get started on that very first one. To get started, I took the papers that I had here and cut them into a couple of 6x12s where it was possible and everything else down to 4x6 because I've got 4x6, 6x12, 3x4 pockets. And I went ahead and inked all of these in brown around the edges. If I need to cut them down to 3x4, then I just cut it in half and ink the edge that I've uncovered. Yeah. And then I've also pulled out some lettering options. Some of the things that I'd already used in the January 12x12. So like this font is already in there and, you know, I can get a couple more titles out of that for sure. I pulled out a wood grain because I've already brought in 2 different wood grains here. So why not a third? This one that's been in my stash a little longer than I would like to and just thought, let's bring it out and get it into play. And then I've got all of the other little pieces that weren't 6x12 or 4x6 of this just out of the shot on my trimmer so that I have them accessible to do things like punch shapes or cut little tabs or whatever I might need. I've decided that I'm actually going to come back to this section of the 2021 12x12 last. I'm going to do everything else first, and then I'm going to come back and figure out what message I have not said in all the other little bits of journaling along the way, and I'm going to have an overall statement there. That may seem a little upside down, but I just was trying to figure out what could I say there and then not end up duplicating it later. So it's just here right now for visual reference. So I need 3 cards here and definitely want clouds at the top just because they always feel weird if you put them at the bottom and not the top. And so why don't I go ahead and put these in the middle. Okay. So I can build this card then by taking this and I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. This toward the left. I think I'll make it flush up to the top. And the photo over here to the right. Okay. I've got this red in here, so I'd like to find a little red embellishment to put in that corner. It's not really something I love, so I don't particularly want to do a red heart there. No red small circles. I could do a label. Oh, let's use one of these. I forgot these were in here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. The red ones, what will be? Let's just Yeah, because a lot of those are like happy smiley things. Let's cut this into 2 pieces. Bring it all the way flush to this edge here. So then I have this red triangle that incorporates the photo. The journaling can go there. What are my small circles in here? They're actually a little bigger than what I would want to include there, I think. Oh, maybe this one though. If I could have this one go off the edge and then use the other half later. Don't roll away. Okay. Lettering to add a title up here. Do that one. I need a journaling space here, and I could just write straight on the background, but I kind of liked the idea of bringing in one of these journaling stickers. So give that a little bit of a darker edge. I'm not sure that will even be noticeable on the camera, or from the camera, but I can see it here, just a little bit. Okay, and then I can add a little bit of accent next to that with some labels. So maybe I need to bring the turquoise into here. And something from the motif page. I kind of want to add in a floral piece, even though it's January. So maybe this tiny one up here. This little one with the label. And then this needs something, this corner here feels really disconnected and blocked off. So bring in something that's already in another spot on your card or on your page, and those blocked off places then feel like they belong a little bit more. So let's bring this in here. And add a little bit of color. Maybe another little word phrase. Word or phrase. Come on, where's that page? Watch, by halfway through the year, I'm going to have these pages all separated because I can tell already that flipping through them here is going to drive me crazy. So if you need permission to take your sticker book apart, it's okay. I give you that permission. Right, this one sounds just about right for journaling about starting the year in lockdown, but it needs to be cut into 2 pieces. And then I can layer that over the flower there. Maybe not quite that much. That's better. Okay, journaling there. What's going to go up here? Well, it's okay to just have something pretty. Why not? So let's see what we could do. What about the page with all the word art? Is there anything particularly apt to the rest of the page? Oh, maybe see the good in all things. Okay, let's try and find the positive. It must be there somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. Why not? Okay. So I've got that ready to go, but needs something else to go with it. So let's see what else I can find. Where I have this black and white floral down here, I think having a big statement flower up here would go really well. So I've pulled out this big statement flower that I'm going to stamp onto some smooth white cardstock and then die cut it. If you don't have a die to go with your stamp, you could just cut it out with scissors. And if you don't have a stamp that matches something that you've got in your in the supplies that you're using, you could always go have a look to see if there's a printable, or you could see if there's a big sticker that you might otherwise not use. See if you can get a little bit more use out of what you've already got on hand. Now the stickers are in black and, well, it's black and cream, but essentially black and white. So I'm going to ink these in black ink. So these are from Scrapbook and Cards today. They're a magazine, but they also do stash that you can get in the post, events and all sorts. So cool stuff. Okay. Lovely. And then to cut that out, take that to my mat, put that on there, and I can see through to line up the die. And that gives me this piece all ready to put onto that top pocket. I like having all the pockets together on a page. I know some people prefer to work with just one pocket at a time, but I always like to have them all visible as a reference, just so I can kind of feel like I know where things are going. So this is going to come up at the top, but I want to add some color to this to kind of make it match, even though I know I'm trying to match these, but I'm never going to match them exactly. They're not on white, for example. So I want to have a little splash of color up here. I am going to be adding in that pink sticker there. I'm going to use 3 Distress Oxides for coloring this in. I'm going to use spun sugar, speckled egg, and walnut stain. Now I know that I'm going to put that pink sticker on this side, so I'm going to start on the other side with the pink so that when I get to this side of the sticker, I have some contrast behind there. So I'm not paying attention to where the lines are in the stamp. I'm not paying attention to the fact that this might be a leaf and it should be green. I'm just doing some color. So I'm going to fade this in. Now you could totally do this before you stamp. Of course you can. Sometimes I do. But today I fancied it in this direction. You can do it too. Blue in the middle. And the brown on this side. Now, if you haven't used Distress Oxides before, their magic comes in when you put a second or a third coat over the top. So once I've done each color like this, I mean, that doesn't look horrible, but it's going to get better. So go back over each color and go over that join where the pink meets the blue in this case. Then the blue. Now, am I fading out my black ink big time? Yes, because I'm putting all this color over the top. So if you don't like the look of it being a bit more subdued black ink and you like the crisper black, then blend first and stamp over the top. You can do that too. Okay, last time I'm going to go over, and then I'll have these nice soft edges. See what happens there? Oh, it's happiness. That's what it is. It's happiness. Even the blue into the brown. And then last bit is brown. I don't particularly want the brown to get super dark, so I'm trying to leave little light bits on the edges there. Okay. That's all. You can see now it changes dramatically with each color that you add in. And now I can take all of this back and get that in the middle there. And my sticker is going to go on the side there. Okay, I'm still going to edge this, even though one side has the brown edges anyway, because I inked that in brown. This, you could pop this up, but because I'm going to put that sticker over the top, I want it nice and flat. Then here's my pink sticker, brown edging on this. And that's going to go down here in this corner. All right, so this set of cards then needs two things in my process. It needs the journaling and it needs the confetti step, which is where I finish all my projects. So I'll put the words on, and then I will do things like add enamel dots, tiny gems, or a splash of gold mist, sometimes all three. And that's, to me, what makes it feel finished. And so journaling, confetti. Journaling in place, so now confetti stage. So I'm going to go with these shades of pink enamel dots, which are all to new. So I can do a little triangle up here. And then repeat that in this corner. Oh, that one decided to fly. Okay. And then same thing down here. Repeat that. Bringing, actually I might just stick with the smaller ones down here. I've got plenty of the small ones in this set. Three there. And then for a little bit of sparkle, these little gems from Honeybee Stamps. And I've got this nice little iridescent color. I can just bounce next to these. One, there we go. That one left its glue behind. Let's try again. Move that one a little bit, be good. There we go. And down here, same thing. I can't really fit them all in that bottom corner, so that's why I started that triangle a little higher. Go. And then I think just 3 of the little iridescent ones here. I'm going to make it a big triangle this time. One there, one up here, and one over here. And that is that section all done.